Thanks for joining us. Okay. Yeah, for those that are materialistic, I'm not sure if they'll understand any of this. Some reason I feel like I needed to say that. Yeah. So, this is not your normal broadcast. You can say not to say any of them are. Um, so yeah, this is kind of like a touchy subject. But just to jump into it, soul possession is real. And it could be more in your face than you might realize. Some people have obviously grew up in families that are possessed, brothers and sisters, parents, friends, teachers, and so on. Doesn't mean this is all Egyptian related, but this case basically is like an influential leader in the spiritual community, like an archaeologist of some kind. It feels like there's like a slow possession and doing like magic on people, things like that. And is that person even there physically? So, Egypt is a very strange place. It can be very mind altering in a positive way, and also there's a lot of dark spirit beings there too. During the early times of Egypt, it was very spiritual. They're aware of those things. People possess, channeling Ra and Isis, and I think also Seth. That whole nonsense about you can't channel Seth, it's like, or Seth or whatever. It's like by Jane Roberts, it's a bunch of nonsense. Not that you need to channel what Jane Roberts channel, because who cares about that anyway? But something to do that on their soul growth. But Egypt is a weird place. And they're not going to teach this in school or Sunday school or in society. They want you crying about politicians or celebrities, which is funny how both of those get possessed to a certain level, depending. It's kind of a touchy subject, though. When you go into more of the heart of what's happening here, soul possession is not that far fetched. It's just not, it's not something even I've even thought about bringing. I mean, it's not something I want to like keep talking about, but it's also the jinn is another. That's known to possess people, constantly all through the Arab world. So I even knew somebody that was big involved with the jinn. She was an alcoholic trying to save people at a bar, very connected to ISIS. She really thought she was ISIS, and she was like all over the place. We must a train wreck. There's actually beings that were possessing her even to get to me, to attack me, even take me out in some regards. So they'll like take you out, like kill you, something like that. So they have to get you to destroy yourself, basically. So these things are real. It's funny how you have bars and all that selling liquor, but they should probably just shut all that down, because that's where you can get possessed also, and clubs. So just just kind of mind your space. So this is all for educational purposes and to scare people, but this is a real thing. And it is affecting the spiritual community right now. So obviously many people are just shut off mentally. So they're just being zombified by spirituality and not realizing, they're doing the same thing they did in ancient times, possessing people or manipulating the masses. This is what these gods do now. In this case, I'm being kind of cryptic about it too, but in this case, doesn't mean this is actually Ra doing this, possessing a certain individual, but I get the Ra's frequency there. So Ra can be used on all different levels by other entities, so it gets kind of a mess. But is this all that far fetched? Not really. No, you see how crazy the world is. you know, I mean, you don't have to look at it, but even in the U.S., like places like Chicago comes to mind, New York, San Francisco. Look how San Francisco's tearing itself apart. So is it really all that surprising? Not really. It's just not mainstream. Well, because that's it'd be an interest. It'd be good if they put it in the movies though. It's funny they put it in the movies to call it entertainment, and yikes. Yeah, it's like this recent Evil Dead movie that came out, like a being like enjoys being around maggots and all that. It's like, okay, that's your thing. That's good for you. That's It's just actually loving it. It's like, welcome to Earth, huh? Yeah. So, the Egyptian energies are these beings are hijacking people. It's kind of like a horror movie though, where the being is laughing at us. Possesses a person and it laughs about it, like in a psychotic, creepy way, because he knows that we're ignorant. We don't know anything. So it's not, I mean, people are getting smart to this, but not realizing how sophisticated these beings are. It's like we're not being educated. I mean, you wonder what we're here for. We're here to figure this out, but most people are not going to believe it because they're programmed not to. It's not in your schools. It's not your parents aren't teaching you about this stuff. So it just continues on. So this is why they say about the world is going to be freed in in 12,000 years or whatever. And it's like, come on. Nobody. I mean, all this stuff, occult stuff needs to become more more taught. It's hidden. So it needs to come more into the light. It needs to be, and do you see that happening anytime soon or 100 years? Or it's seen as taboo. It's just, laughs about and everything. That's just the spells and all that. It's not just people connected to aliens and all that. And that can also be possession too. Alien beings possess people all the time. I even know a channeler that I believe there's an alien being, like a feline being possessing a person right now. And it's not for the best of anybody, but whatever, what do I know? None of my business. So, yeah, it's pretty. This is why they call it spiritual war. So, yeah, and this individual is using her eyes, her manipulation to, some kind of fake friendly, kindness, which is all fake anyway. But these beings, they love to screw with people. They get their kicks out of it, and humanity has to snap out of this. That's why it's going to continue on, forever until humanity takes it more seriously. Because I mean, these beings are not going to. They don't like being talked about and all that. They hate it. They rather just go back to being a slave. So this is where they get their kicks. This is where they get their purpose of life. So obviously, this world's open to the lower dimensions, the hell realms. So, jeez. Yeah, they like setting, demonic beings like setting themselves on fire and, beating the crap out of each other. It's like another day in the office for them. And that's in the lower realms, and that's happening here also. They might not be setting each other on fire, but they're beating the crap out of each other. Some kind of, God forbid you have like take a day off or a week off of all of this. So, also the Warlock, for some reason, I don't know, just felt like it tapped in. It's like, might as well, right? It's just, for those that are not ready for all this, obviously I gotta go hide, it's like, you want to get spiritual, and then you get spiritual, then they run away. So it's like, whatever, right? So to see how advanced they are, all this knowledge they got, and you tapping in soul possession. I guess some that know everything about everything. Especially, I love the ones where the cult groups that they feel like they know everything, and the person that's their cult leader is possessed. And I don't think any of them think maybe they know. They probably know about it in some form, but maybe not consciously. Lovely. Just there to feed the ego of the group. But the warlock energies, I don't know, just tap. So it's basically like the male witch, you can say. Not talked about very often, for obvious reasons, but I don't know. It feels like you just got to make some closure or healing, move on from all of this to a certain level. I don't know. Just feel like just tapping it. I was going to do the goblin, but I guess it's not much different there. So now we got to heal the shadow eventually, right? The warlock, yeah, is a very advanced trickster being. It's connected to your elite to a certain level, like sacrifices and stuff like that. Do they even care? Probably not. So, also the magician frequencies. Once again, the shadow energy. Well, there's good and there's all kinds of frequencies there. So just tap into that realm altogether. So it really comes down to magic. Everything comes down to magic in the long run. But this Egyptian possession stuff is quite. I mean, the being I was tapping into, I think I mentioned it. Yeah, it was like laughing at humanity. Yeah, I guess like a creepy, just like because it sees us as a bunch of idiots, basically. So I wonder why. Yeah, it's very, like I said, it's very sophisticated. Your average person is probably just oblivious to all this. But some are well aware of this, but it's not on a global scale. It's just like a very niche market. Some call it entertainment, which is unfortunate because this isn't entertainment at all. It's like this is real stuff. So, yeah. Oh, no. Everybody's different. Okay. All right, go into this real quick. This is avatar.com, price sessions somewhere. Yeah, the shop here. I'm a little bit behind on that. Energy got shot last night or today, so later today at least. So I'll be catching up tomorrow. And the next day, webinar, social network behind the scenes, and archive. Oh yeah, I forgot the social network. Everything is being submitted. I'll get to that tomorrow. Yeah, I'll get to that tomorrow. I forgot about it. Yeah. So I mean, this is like not to take this on an ego level or like who's better, who's worse, who's this and that. The Egyptian energy soul possession is very real. I mean, just not just Egyptian. It can go to all Cambodia. It can go all kinds of what is it? I can't think of it. They don't want me to think of it. Anyway, yeah, voodoo, Jamaica, voodoo there. Yeah, so it's all around. It's just different versions all around the world, obviously. But we're just looking at the Egyptian frequency. I mean, how many people really understand Egyptian energies? I mean, how many people think they're ISIS? I mean, that sometimes can also be a possession, especially when you had an incarnation during that time. So if you're here to get possessed by something like a darker side of Ra, you might be fulfilling your contract to control the masses. And now they can reject that, but some want recognition. They want to be loved by others, or they feel like their life was kind of empty and worthless, especially if you're an Egyptian archaeologist and you feel like your life isn't going anywhere. And maybe retired from that. It's like I need to do something else in my life. I don't know. I'll just start manipulating everybody and realize I'm doing a good thing when it's actually you're doing a disservice. So I don't know. It's just so I'm not going to go into too much details on that. It's up to the individual to figure things out. Yeah. So all right, we're going to where are we going to go into? It's like. Let's see here. Raw. Yeah, we can tap into the raw consciousness. Yeah. Like I said, give it a neutral version of this. The Warlock also maybe gives some insights of, well, that's another neutral connection, not to. Obviously, this is not for everybody. That's why my channel is always getting suppressed or until it doesn't even exist. Yeah, I would go into what I'm talking about, but I just got rid of my strike and I don't feel like adding another one. So I'm not trying to be that way anyway. So either way, it's up to the individual to figure things out anyway. You can't always spell it out for everybody. Come on, you have to put some kind of work into it. You can't just be told stuff and just like be lazy and just go off into nowheresville, which many do. Be told how to live their lives. Like try to figure things out, or maybe just not try to figure anything out. Just turn the mind off and just keep going somewhere. So okay, we're going to raw consciousness, the warlock. So basically connect to that consciousness to kind of give you some, like I said, educational purposes. And same thing with the magician frequency. Realizes light and dark to everything. Obviously, it's not for everybody for obvious reasons. Because some want to connect just to the positive realms. I mean, delusion, like I say, is the best seller. And to heal that's not easy. It's like, yeah, the world's crazy. You already see that now. But what caused it to be crazy? Yeah, beings being possessed. I mean, like I said, I knew somebody that was like an alcoholic, a drug addict, and thought she was ISIS. And whatever entity was attached to her was coming after me. So, and that's yeah, there's more to all of that. But yeah. Like another thing. So if you're born here, what if you get a dark attachment when you're born and when you're a kid, you're crying all the time, angry, and come to find out you had a being attached to you. So just to put that out there. Yeah, we're not in Kansas anymore. I mean, some people might not feel like they went through that, but like I said, what if you have like a family member that's still possessed, from so lovely. Yeah. So I don't think they're going to teach this in universities. Well, actually, they probably do to a certain level somewhere. It's like the skull and bones probably teach it. So the university is the cult version of it. I think they do have occult classes at those places. I think so, like anthropology or something like that. So yeah, become an Egyptian archaeologist and go there and get possessed. Yeah, and try to take over the world. So anyway, all right, we're going to Raw, the Warlock energies, and to the Magicians. Blessings. Agrees, this is the raw consciousness. Yes, it is good to protect your energies. Yes, there's many beings that have no problem hijacking humanity. It's like you getting into a car and going somewhere to hang out with your buddies. The lower dimensions come into your realm and possess a person or all the people. Yes, alcohol is their friend. So yeah, their job is to take over people, to get them to act chaotic. Why is that? They're at the souls of the lower dimensions are at, they can't find light within themselves. They can't find balance. All they know is chaos. Yes, and they are in the government, of course. Your government. Well, there's a lot of drone people there. So it's up to you to decide where this is all going. Those of you that really want to know about this, you don't have to go too deep into it, but be aware of the situation you're in on this planet. That shows spiritual maturity, that you're not judging. Want to learn more, just be aware that it does get more bizarre, especially if you want to understand soul possession. Yeah, you can scan your family's energy, family line, your current family or friends, and who comes to mind when you put that into yourself? Like, hey, did I know anybody that was possessed? It might be a school teacher. That's very common, especially like science teachers. 'Cause a lot of science teachers are so disconnected from spirit. They're into like just physical things. They're not aware of what's going on. And realize also there's a level of spirituality that some cannot access. Yes, they want to be happy, love and light, and that's it's like putting themselves into neutral. They're not really ready for what's really out there. It's like yeah, it's a rose-colored glass. They go to a certain level, and as long as they're happy, it's like you go to a happy level and you just sit there. But some of you want to know more. Now you can still be happy and you can still know more. It just gets kind of strange out there. So this person that is possessed gave up her freedom a long time ago. It's just the entity got stronger and stronger, and it loves it pulls in, it does a spell on people to have a large audience. It does magic through this person, through hypnotism that most of you cannot hear or see. Now, some of you might feel it. It's kind of like turning like a spirit. For example, we'll just use it for example. A spiritual, like a teacher, can be turned to like a magnet, and they're doing all this force, this on a fourth dimensional level, doing energy work to pull people towards them, whoever they can get. Some might snap out of it, some might stay there forever. So that's why the numbers come and go. Because somebody feel like just doesn't feel right, and they snap out of it and wander off and go figure themselves out or whatever it might be. But others they want to be a part of the hidden knowledge, the secret energies, and the only thing you're getting out of that is being controlled. So it's up to the individual to break free. And many, some don't want to do the work, and they want to feel like they're just on track, and they have all this higher dimensional knowledge, and some of them do see there's something not right there, but they ignore it. But if they eventually, if they need to know about this, they'll figure it out. It might take 20 lifetimes for them to figure it out, though. Like I said, many want to be happy and they turn themselves off. They okay, this works out for me. I'm around a person that's possessed, but that possessed person's being nice to me, so I'll just make it work. And then they get married and to another possessed person, and that might not work out so well. If you're meant to break free, if you want to break free of it, you will. And some people have to marry like toxic people to break out of all this. I mean, there's nothing more of a wake-up call than marrying a toxic person or being in a relationship with a toxic person. Of course, having a family member as a toxic person really wakes you up. So like you have a family member that is abusive, even sexually abusive, that's a wake-up call. So think of it, that's a way of waking you up. Like, not that you need to go through that, but sometimes you need something extreme to really just wake your mind up from the physical program. I know that's a tough one for some, but you'd be surprised. Blessings. Greetings are connected to the Warlock consciousness. Basically, Warlock beings are usually very arrogant. They're also seducers, seducing females. And there's actually more of them here than you might realize. Doesn't mean they practice magic. They do practice the energy of seduction, though. And yeah, they might treat the person horribly or their partner terribly. And that's what they do to show control, to show the demonic side of themselves, to really be psychotic on whatever level it needs to take the energy of that level. It takes someone that a relationship with someone that's naive and break them down. It's like, it's just, it's pretty dark. It's basically, it's a show who's boss. It's just like they find naive people normally to manipulate. So you can look at your life, your world, and see some of that. Sometimes your average people that are very manipulative are usually in a relationship level quite often, depending on their track record's not so good. It's some of them are actors, not the strongest. They don't like too much attention to themselves. Some of them are bar owners. They want run liquor establishments. They have different ways. Warlocks work out in different ways. There's different levels of a warlock. More powerful warlocks don't even want to be seen by anybody. They connect to their magic and go hide somewhere. They usually connect to someone wealthy to be able to take care of them. But they do magic for them, whatever manifestation, magic, things of that kind. So it's something to think about in your spiritual awakening. Obviously, yes, it's not for everybody, but you're going to the core of how this world works. You give you little pieces, little nuggets, and it's up to you to what works for you. Greens to you. Yeah, the consciousness of the magicians. Magicians are normally not always necessarily a bad energy, but controversial. Yes, yeah, your Alistair Crowley is a version of that. Obviously, yeah, there's some satanic energy there, but magicians are known to break reality. Not that he was that good of a magician, no, but there are others that are just to basically test your reality, test your realm, to not just do magic tricks in front of it. I mean, that's an entertainment. It's also the magicians do magic tricks with others is to show that there's other realms, other dimensions here. Your David Blaine, yeah, is usually possessed to some level. There's like a devil energy there, but it just shows also devils can be nice too. They can be very kind. They can take their kids to school, but there's a sell. You can say there's a form of a sellout energy there to have the dark arts, to have that type of power. So it just shows you, this has been going on for centuries. It's basically people that are possessed by demonic energies, but they have more control over it. There's others that don't. The magician is basically a being from another dimension, and it's not the easiest life. Yeah, they can, their bodies are, their energy, but can change. Their body chemistry can be manipulated, so they can handle fire, cold differently than others. Be possessed, remove the possession, do all kinds of just they connect to other multi dimensions, and they might connect to light and dark, wherever it might be. That it's their soul journey. It's to show that it's like they're doing like a trapeze act in front of everyone. they're exploring in front of everyone. Now some just do magic tricks, and that's a good. I mean, that helps lighten the frequencies, but others have to try other things. It just they get bored of the higher dimensions and want to just see how does it feel to be in a darker realm, but also so they can go dark, but also find light, find some kind of balance, and so on. Magicians are also known to be, sometimes the tricks are energy. A lot of them are decent, but some of them can cause difficulties. So, so you want to connect to more to your higher realms or your occult energies is your magicians. It doesn't mean you need to find a magician, a real one, unless you know what you're doing, because they can turn the tables around on you, even turn yourself on yourself, because some of them have a powerful mind. But it doesn't mean they're always there to manipulate. There's some that are actually here to do good towards others, but they do keep themselves hidden from society normally. They're not doing tricks on the streets. Some they might, but they don't have websites or things like that. Usually, like New York City, like they can go, like magicians can go, so they can be like penniless. Like say like they live in like New Jersey or something. They live penniless, go to New York City, and somehow attract money, somehow even attract fame, and just come from nothing to something. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of the magician frequency. That can be male, female. That can be So sometimes the rags and the riches energy is a magician energy. Not always. Sometimes there's different energies with that, but the magician is known for that. So this is